Have you ever been perusing the dollar store, shopping around when you come across the book section, and you wonder to yourself, are these books really any good? Well, I have. In fact, last time I was there, I bought 4 of them. And we're gonna find out together if these books are any good. So, for book number 1, we have Palace of the Drowned by Christine Mangan. What do I know about this book? It is a historical fiction. We're following author Frankie Croy, I believe. Ooh, this is a literary thriller. Okay, did not know that. So this is a literary thriller and it's like also a historical fiction at the same time. So this is book number 1. I also happen to have all of these books on audio as well, thanks to my library. So that is absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited to dive into book number 1. The cover's kind of cool. We have this woman dressed up, walking along the water. Is that the water? I think we should just get started and dive into Palace of the Drowned. Let's dive in to reading dollar store books for a week. We're doing first impressions. Okay. First impressions of Palace of the Drowned. I am more interested in the plot than I thought I would be. Our main character, Frankie, arrives in Venice and she plans on like not seeing anyone, not knowing anyone, and then runs into a girl named Gilly who apparently knows her, but she's like, I don't remember this girl. She's not who I remember her looking like, or something like that. She's alluding to kind of like a mental break that she hasn't fully explained, and then we kind of got a little bit of an explanation for why she ran away to Venice. She checked herself into a mental facility, essentially, left in the middle of the night after realizing it wasn't for her, and then dipped and left for Venice. I think this was after her second or third book. It's because she got a bad review and it basically sent her over the edge. That's my understanding. But surprisingly, I'm enjoying it. I'm interested so far. I'm like 25, 30 pages in. So we'll see how it continues to unfold. We'll see how it becomes a thriller. Time. I have been reading for a couple of hours, maybe like an hour or so, reading The Palace of the Drowned, and I'm on page 124. So I have a bit of a better understanding of the story and kind of like what's happening right now. Our main character, Frances, after a very public meltdown slash, she kind of like attacks the woman, I think. She goes to Venice to stay in this apartment or this house that her friend Jack has like a connection to or has access to. There's a housekeeper there named Maria, and then there's another side of the house that is supposedly unoccupied, but Frances, or Frankie, she goes by Frankie, but people call her Frances. Frankie is convinced there's someone on the other side because she keeps hearing noises, like a door closing, and she's like a little bit spooked. And on top of that, there is this super fan, Gilly, that showed up and let be known that she's not actually like an old friend. She's just a super fan who found her and lied to become her friend. Like, that's kind of creepy. It's definitely keeping me focused on the story. I'm intrigued. I want to continue reading it to learn more. I think if I continue reading at the pace I'm at now, I can finish it before my shift today. Also, to clarify, I am dressed I am dressed in a different outfit and I did braid my hair, but it's the same day. I just wanted to get a little bit ready. I'm gonna get back to the book because I am surprisingly compelled to keep reading it. I will update you guys later when I potentially have finished the story. This book has me honestly a little bit like hooked. I'm a little bit hooked. So at this point in the story, her friend Jack and Jack's husband Harold are with her in Venice. They're also getting to know Gilly and they're kind of forming a little group. Frankie is writing a story in this book, and when she goes up to her room, she finds the windows open and the book gone. She looks down to see her pages like all over I think in the water or on the ground. Anyway, getting destroyed essentially. And she freaks out, and in her book's place, the manuscript is Gilly's book. And she basically freaks out, claims she's trying to destroy her basically. And everyone's like, Frankie, you're going crazy. Like, you're mad. Like, we didn't even know you were writing a story. Like, there were no pages down there. And she was like, it was gone. It's too late. And they're like, it wasn't there, basically. I'm intrigued. It's pretty good so far. Hello, good morning, friends. It is the next day. I just finished Palace of the Drowned. I was listening to the audiobook and I was not expecting to finish it so quick, and then it was over. So I've been sitting here for a second trying to think about how I feel about the ending of this book, because it kind of just goes absolutely insane. I don't remember really what I told you, but I mentioned that we're following Frankie. She's an author, she's in Venice, and that Gilly shows up, a basically super fan. It gets really dramatic really fast, and Frankie kills Gilly. She literally, so during the storm, the flood in Venice, she just pushes her into the water and she drowns. Gilly, gone. She flees, okay? It just gets crazier. Stuff goes down. I will say, I liked the writing. Pretty entertained while I was reading, and I was thinking about this book when I wasn't reading it. I don't think I liked the ending. I'm unsure how I even feel about the plot in general. I think I'm gonna give it 3.25 stars. That's my rating for now. I do think this is actually worth the time to read if you want something maybe a little moody, I wouldn't say this is really a thriller. I do think it's worth the read. It's quite entertaining and a little bit twisty. So book number 2 of this challenge. So far, day 1, we have book 1 done. So maybe we'll get book 2 done today. We'll see. Book number 2, kind of the same aesthetic as the last one. Virtue by Hermione Hobby. What do I know about this book? Absolutely nothing, except for on the back it says it was sold for $27 and I bought it for $1.25. So that's pretty cool. I have no idea what I'm expecting out of this one. Powerful novel of youth, desire, and moral conflict, in which a young man is seduced by the mirage of glamour at a terrible cost. I think that I'm gonna start reading it. Okay, guys, let's talk about virtue. I am on chapter 12, and our main character, Luca, is now at a beach house with these rich folks and their kids. Paula is an artist and Jason is like, I think a director or something, filmmaker. Basically, he meets them through his internship and they become friends, and like he kind of has a crush also on like both of them at the same time. It's kind of weird. I really don't think this book is for me. I mean, I'm kind of interested in this like summer at the beach house aspect that we just got to. It's honestly pretty boring in my opinion. Well, I'm gonna sit down and try to read as much as possible and hopefully finish it. And I'll let you know what I think about it. Hello. I just finished Virtue. I don't like this book. I genuinely don't even see the point of this book. Basically, the whole book, you have Luca staying in this summer home with Paula and Jonah? Paula and Jason. He's staying with them and their kids. But the whole book, he's just lusting after them. And he's just in love with them, basically. It's just weird. And the end of the book is weird. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the plot, really. I mean, it was a story. There were words, and it was a book. And I'm giving it 2 stars. We're moving on. The third book I have is The Wise Women. I don't know anything about this book. Once again, are we surprised? A witty and wildly enjoyable novel about the 2 adult daughters of a meddling advice columnist for anyone who's ever been exasperated with a parent, faced an uncertain future, or searched for a place to call home. Okay, so we're following 3 women, 2 daughters, and their mother. This cover is very bright. It's giving summertime, but it is not the summer. It's actually still December as I'm filming this. I just want even a slightly meaningful story. I don't want some pretentious kid thirsting for an older married couple, like a rich married couple. I don't care. Just give me a story, please. Okay, let's dive into it. Guys, I literally fell asleep and I took a nap. That lasted, I took a 3-hour nap. I didn't even need a nap. I just really wanted to take a nap, and then I did. So here we are. So let's talk about the wise woman, the wise women. So in this book so far, we have our main character. We're following Clementine, and basically she just found out that her husband has been lying about the house that she owns. They're actually renting it, and all of the money she gave him to put a down payment on the house is gone. He spent it. So after she finds out about this ultimate betrayal, she kicks him out of the house. She says, "Pack your bags." And then he has the audacity to be mad at her. "You're breaking up our family." Sir, you lied and spent all our money. I think you did the breaking up of the family, but okay. I like it. I definitely am more interested in it than Virtue. I'm gonna continue this book. We'll see how it is. the absolutely worst at updating during this vlog, apparently. I finished another book. So at the beginning of the book, Clementine finds out that the house that she owns with her husband, she doesn't actually own. They've been renting, and the money she gave him for a down payment, he used to put towards his business, towards his vegetable water called AquaVeg, infused with CBD. Yeah, we go from there, and it just tells a story about them. And Steve, the husband, he continues to go on trying to make money with AquaVeg, and something happens towards the end, kind of a full circle moment. I'm not gonna get into it in case someone wants to read it, but I did find it a better story than I thought it would be. Yes, this was a nice book. I think I gave it 3.25 stars or 3 stars. Let me check my Fable. I feel like I always give books the same exact rating, and I can't be doing that. Unless I feel the exact same way about the book, then it's fine. Yeah, 3.25, and that was the exact same rating I gave for Palace of the Drowned. So that's awesome. Let's talk about book number 4. So the book that I picked up this morning that I am currently reading, The God of Good Looks by Brienne McIvor. So this is about a Trinidadian model. Anyway, she's a model. She was caught up in a cheating scandal that she didn't realize the person she was dating, he had a wife. Anyway, she resorts to modeling for money. Now she gets offered another job that's outside of modeling and may give her a chance to do something else. And reluctant at first, she does end up taking the job. So now it's just it's the very beginnings of her starting to work a different type of job. I'm gonna get back into my book, and then I'm gonna update you guys when I understand the plot a little bit more. I feel like I'm still at the beginning on the audio. The audio says I'm 10% of the way through, but I feel like that's not really enough to grasp the story. I'm barely like an hour in, so I'm gonna keep reading and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. It is certainly later in the day at around 5:30, around like 5:30 p.m.-ish. I laid down to take a nap and I didn't wake up until 10 something. It's 10:56 right now. I actually also just went to go get a Diet Coke because why not? So I do have some progress in the book. I'm about like 250 pages in. I'm starting to understand kind of a bit more what's going on. So Bianca is working for this like digital media company. I don't really understand the connection between like the makeup brand and the like digital media company, but I feel like that's just on me because I missed something. Of that, there's a big conversation about beauty standards and struggles with food issues and abusive relationships. And it seems like our character Obadiah is starting to have feelings for Bianca. And I don't think this is a romance. This is a literary fiction as far as I know. It just has little sprinklings of romance, if at all. So he's starting to feel protective of her over what happened with her and this Eric guy, who was this older married man who she had an affair with, but she didn't know he was married, and it was kind of an abusive relationship situation, which is a big conversation in this book. I'm still in shock that I went to take a nap and slept for 5 hours. I don't even know how I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. I guess the best thing to do in this situation is try to finish a book while we're here. So I'm gonna sit down and power through, and we're gonna try to finish this book. finished the book yesterday. It's the next morning. I last night finished the book around like midnight, 1 a.m. I stayed up listening to the audiobook and I was kind of just like cleaning around the kitchen, doing some laundry. Because I think I mentioned I ended up taking a nap from like 5 to 10 p.m. That was hardly a nap. It was like I went to sleep. So I wasn't super tired and I was up for quite a few hours later than I would normally be. And while I was up, I finished the book. And this was by far my favorite book out of the 4 that I read. This was a really beautiful story about there's so many different things that are talked about in this book, you know, money and power, and then beauty and the way society treats women and preys on their insecurities. It was a really good book. I really liked how empowering Bianca's story was. I think that was done really well. Overall, I gave this one 3.75 stars, so pretty darn close to a 4-star. And in my opinion, really good for a dollar store book. So with that being said, we have finished reading all 4 dollar store books this week. I think in order of rating, this is what I gave them. Palace of the Drowned was 3.25 stars. Virtue got 2 stars. The Wise Women, 3.25 stars. And The God of Good Looks got 3.75 stars. Overall, I think it was absolutely worth it to check out these books and read them for the week. It was fun to step outside of my comfort zone and look for books that I know I may not like, but maybe worth the read anyway. I think at least these 2 I very much enjoyed, and then these 2 were okay. The fact that I ended up really liking 2 out of 4 of the books is amazing for them only being $1.25. So I definitely encourage you to try this out sometime. Head to your local dollar store, pick up some books, give them a read, because you never know. You might find a book that you actually really like. That is everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun with this video. I have a feeling I may be trying it again in the future, so keep an eye out for that. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I'll see you guys next year. Bye.